Aloha, everyone, and welcome to Local My Life and everyone's favorite mental health thing before all the fun begins. No. Hey, gang, how y'all doing today? It is Aloha Friday, as I love to remind, and yes, I'm out of regular treats, so they're getting other things today. So I'm already breaking up little pieces. So how has everyone's Friday been? I've been sitting in chat off and on throughout the day as I've been preparing things. And on checking with Scout earlier, Scout came right on in as soon as we announced everything and had some great comments going on with today's subject. And then Arctic Fox popped in and reminded me of something that I actually discovered as I started looking over this subject, that I had forgotten a very important group of people who honestly have Valentine's Day affects them actually sometimes just as, I don't want to say negatively, but badly. Valentine's Day can be the most amazing thing in the world, but at the same point, it can rub people the wrong way also. I'll be honest. So I just want to, hey, Joe, how you doing, moms? Moms for Missing, actually. In fact, as is a great time to segue into that before I continue on with the highs. And as you guys mentioned, I forgot to do this last week, and I really need to start reminding myself. I want to start every one of our lives. You guys know that I have a passion for missing people. That a lot of us have this passion going on, and no matter what we're talking about, there are still missing children and adults out there. So today, Joe, Moms for Missing, actually had a live going on, a virtual candlelight vigil for Angel Nicole Overstreet. And just before we start, I just wanted to bring up Angel's picture and remind everyone that Angel is still missing. We hear all of the stories of everything going on, but this little one who went missing at 3 months of age, and she went missing last seen May 2021. I mean, this little girl's been missing more than she was seen in her life, and we need to find her. So today there was a candlelight vigil in real life, and then a number of us have started coming together. Joe has really, Moms for Missing, it's this idea that we're all out here, we're supportive of missing children. And coming out, yeah, exactly, Joe. Today would have been her first birthday. And here she is. She's selling. In Hawaii, we celebrate our first birthdays. And I'm sorry, I know this isn't the mental health side. We will get into the mental health subject, but I do want to address this quick. In Hawaii, we celebrate every child's first birthday with what we call our first birthday luau. Everyone hears the luau, okay, all that. It's a little different than that in real life. Not much, but a little bit. And she would be having her first birthday luau today. She would have been having literally, okay, I'm serious. First birthday luau's sometimes cost more than a wedding costs. Okay, when they're done, okay. People really do full, and this little one would be having that today. She'd be getting all of her family and friends coming out and celebrating. And so her family, friends, the people that really love and care about her and want to find her did come together today with a candlelight vigil. And we had one online, okay, just to remind everyone, she's not going to go forgotten. We're not going to let that happen. Okay, there will be people pushing for us to find these people. Okay, Angel, it's coming up on what, about 8-9 months now? She's going to be found. We're going to find her one way or another. So please, I know I did a video on her a couple weeks ago, but just showing what she could potentially look like today. This is actually, she'll look even different from that. This was a couple months ago. But please share that out. Go back. I will actually put a little link in the comments later. So if anyone wants to go back and check that video out, please go check that video out. And keep her in her prayers and all the people who do love her in your prayers. So This kind of goes into something because there's so many. The missing are as important as exactly Arctic. Okay, Arctic Fox, that's exactly it. All of these things tie in. Okay, so many things, because even when we talk about the missing, we talk about the system. We talk about people who are dealing with abuse and all of the side effects that come out of abuse. Well, guess what? When you're dealing with missing people, you're dealing with all of that. You're dealing with people, okay, when they're found, if they're found, they're dealing with anxiety, depression, PTSD, things like that. We've got runaways who often are already dealing with a lot of this stuff to begin with. And many times are running away because they don't know how else to react to these issues that, trust me, I mean, when I was in my 20s dealing with the height of dealing with all the shit and everything that happened, I wanted to run away from everything. Trust me there. And you don't have the skills at that time to deal with it. So yes, all of these are not only just as important, but they dovetail with each other. They blend together. All this stuff does blend together. And many people have been in situations that kind of connect all this stuff together. So it's important for us to do all that. And I do agree, Moms for Missing, getting some billboards up would be helpful. And also, but that's what's great. You got a group of people that are growing up out here now that are putting missing people at the forefront. Not all the drama, not all the, speculation. Yeah, speculation's there and all that. But that's not the focus. The focus always comes back to the person in the picture. And that's the way it should be. So, Arctic, thank you so much. I think that's something as we go forward, there's going to be a lot more of that type of thing because it's coming together as one big ohana. Okay, I know I use that word all the time, but it does mean something. Okay, we come together as one big ohana to come and pull all this stuff together. So try to get people back, try to bring peace to families if unfortunately the worst has happened. And if we can bring them back to where they can move forward in life together with each other, it's even better. But we do need to come together as a family, as an ohana, and support each other. So please take a look at Angel. Help share out her thumbnail. I will go ahead and share all that stuff out on my socials again, so that if anyone sees that, we can get that back out there. So, ohana is your new favorite word. I love that word, ohana. Okay, yes, I joked around a little bit about it when Lilo and Stitch came out, but it does. You know what? It means a lot. And you know what? Trust me, people on the mainland, they have ohana just as much as us out here in Hawaii. Okay, I go to the mainland, certain places I'll go and I'm like, damn, they understand what ohana is about here. They really do. So going on with the subject today. I was sitting here trying to figure out what to talk about today. And one thing kept popping up. Here, let me pull this off here. So, okay. One thing kept popping up over and over and over for me, and that is what is coming up on Monday. Monday is good old-fashioned Valentine's Day. Not sure about you. Valentine's has never been a major issue for me. Yes, there were times in my life that kind of brought me down. Mother's Day has always been my problem, okay, because I don't have any kids or anything like that, so that's always been my hard holiday. But I know some people, the holiday of Valentine's Day is really rough. And I'm not talking they are single. I'm not talking they're married. They're human. There's something about the holiday that really does. No problem, Miss Luth Mom. We were talking about dear Angel for a few minutes and her birthday, her vigil, and all that today, and trying to get the word back out about her and let everyone know we're not going to forget her. No. And so as I started going through all this, trying to figure out the holiday, I kind of could divide my life into two parts. Okay, a lot of you guys know I'm a survivor. Well, the other side of what happened is, and I was telling actually Robbie, Save Robbie, this last night, I remember a time when my whole life was focused around my career. Okay, forget getting married, forget having kids, forget any of that stuff. I was completely focused on career. And then something happened, about 14, 15 years ago. Good friend came back on island, and before I knew it, I had family. I had friends again. I did not think I'd ever reconnect with a group of people. I really honestly didn't. And now have I not only connected with a group of people in real life, I've connected with an amazing group here in this community. Something I never thought. Well, during those years, though, when I did not really have a community that I belonged to, I had my mom, dad, and my brother, and that was basically it. Okay. That was the extent. Weekends, I wouldn't do much. Okay. All these other things, I just really didn't have that. And that may have been the one time that Valentine's Day could get a little rough for me. It was probably the hardest time for me was during those years because of the fact I would see so many people going out and doing things on this one day, and I wasn't doing anything. I would sit at home, do nothing. And of course, a lot of this time was also before the internet really got going. We had the internet. Okay. I had AOL, I had instant messenger. I'd be able to get on. Okay. All sorts of, yeah, we had the internet, but it wasn't quite what it is today. And so it really did. I had to figure out, okay, to me, it was just another normal day, except when I'd go to work and people would be getting flowers at work and I wouldn't. Greatest thing ever. I'll never forget when my mom and dad sent me flowers on Valentine's Day, my first Valentine's Day away from the family. And that really made me feel special because you see all this stuff happening. You start seeing Valentine's Day is really good about showing you this idea of love. This ideal of what life is supposed to be like. Yep, you got it, Art. You've got mail. And, but yeah, you've got this whole ideal in your life. And if you are not fitting that ideal, then something must be wrong with you. And that's a problem. Because like models on a magazine, we try to teach this to our young teens and preteens nowadays, that person you see as a model on that magazine cover does not look like that. Okay, they are filtered and airbrushed and all sorts of things. I mean, you wouldn't even recognize them on a street. Okay, but people start seeing that as the real thing. Okay, even here on social media, people start thinking, oh, I see vloggers, for example. Okay, family vloggers or whatever, any vlogger. And you start thinking, that's what their life's like. They've got this wonderful, amazing life and all that. I watched this one couple, Abby and Matt, and they were talking. At one point, she was like, I want you guys to see, I do dishes just like everyone else does dishes. Okay, we all see these perfect visions of things, whether it's people or Valentine's Day relationships. And we think there must be something wrong with us if we don't live that way. And that's where a lot of the problems start. And if you are single, you get this idea that, well, you know what? Something's wrong with you for not having a date that night. I mean, to the point where some people will actually set up dates for Valentine's Day with someone they've never met before just because they feel like they have to go out on Valentine's Day, which is a recipe for disaster. And so it's all these things that we get going on, and we need to kind of step back and realize people who are depressed and they just see all this stuff, the depression gets worse. People with anxieties, social anxieties, when all of a sudden they feel like, oh my gosh, I got to go out for dinner because everyone goes out for dinner on Valentine's Day. Or, oh my gosh, I'm not going to buy, if they're married, I'm not going to buy the right gift for my loved one. Oh my gosh, and they're going to sit there and they're going to question me, and they're gonna think I don't love them as much now because I did not buy them the right color flowers. Okay, so yeah, it's all these things and it's on all levels, and that's what Arctic Fox, that's what you were talking about with me, that you know what? Even married couples go into this holiday feeling some sense of anxiety or nerves or depression or stuff at times because they don't know what it's going to bring around with them. Arctic, you've got, let me, if I can bring it up there. Arctic, here we go. I mean, let's just call it like it is. Valentine's is just a made-up commercialized holiday to sell cards, candy. If a couple truly cares about them, they do it every day, not one day a year. Amen. Amen, right there. It started off as a pagan holiday, and it got picked up by the Catholic Church, St. Valentine, who actually has nothing to do with this type of thing, but it got connected up with that. Susan, I've learned to accept I'll be single. Girl, that's me. I'm going to be single the rest of my life. I'm cool with it. I wasn't cool with it at one point in my life, but I am now. And I think what did that for me is when I finally found my ohana, my family, not necessarily blood family, because I always have my blood family. But I realized that family is more than just words and blood. It is so much more. And that's when I was like, you know what? Someday I'm going to be 80 years old going to a movie with all my friends. And you know what? It's awesome. I'm cool with it. But it does take some getting used to, too. That's something all of us have to do. And yes, your pups do keep you busy, Susan, exactly. And so those are things that we all work on. Okay, if you're a single person, you're working on the idea, how do you feel comfortable with that the rest of your life, if that's something that you're expecting to be the rest of your life. If you're married, you're dealing with the whole idea about, well, how am I going to mesh with this person the rest of my life? What if they don't match exactly what I want at all times? How do I deal with this feeling that sometimes I'm just like Arctic was saying, that you're just there to be the caretaker and do this and do that? How do you get around all those things? Because even in marriage, there's those ups and downs. Okay, those times that you feel that connection like nothing else in the world, and other times that you feel like you're just the body that's there. Okay, where you're really basically friends and that's it. And those are the times you work on the relationship. You have to work on the relationship. The same way a single person has to work on their relationship with themselves. And so let me pull up my banners here and start. So I think the number one thing for us when we're looking at Valentine's Day, and it's coming up. It's in what, single digits now, but not single, double digits until we hit that hour-wise. Number one, we need to remember society's norm is not norm. Okay? No matter how much you're watching that romantic comedy and that guy shows up with 24 roses, down on his knees with a boombox playing music and stuff like that. That's not the way life always works. Okay, these ideas that a person has to have things set up a certain way. No. You decide what's norm for you, and you work on accepting that norm for yourself. Also, I think, and I did mention, because I think a lot of time people are so focused on fitting this norm on this day, they are going to do everything they can to fit that norm without a couple things, without checking on their loved one, first of all, to see if that's what the loved one wants. Maybe your loved one doesn't care about that level of stuff. And we're going to talk about things that loved ones can do, husband, wife, okay, any partnerships, any girlfriend, boyfriend, anything can come together and talk and figure out what are the expectations, because that's going to be clear. What's the use of celebrating something if you guys are celebrating something neither of you guys are into in that way? Because all that is doing is adding extra stress. So the other thing, though, for many of us is I don't know if it happens as much as it used to, but the idea of People getting into relationships. All of a sudden now we're here within 3 days or so. So what are you doing? You're getting on the phone. You're going and checking out the dating apps and stuff like that, trying to find out, okay, how can I swipe the right direction so I can have a date on Monday? Avoid the relationships for just that day. It may turn into something more. It may. But a lot of times you're going into a relationship not based off of trying to create a relationship. You're going into that relationship because you're scared of being alone on a certain day of the week. One day out of the whole year. And there's this fear of being alone. You don't have to be alone. You don't have to have a date that night. That was one of the biggest lessons I've ever learned. And we're going to talk about those things. But for years, I thought, I had to do that. And I forget what movie it was that came up with the whole term of Valentine's Day. Okay, sorry, guys. I know I got a bunch of guys out there, too. And Valentine's Day was named after gals. But still, okay, the G could be guys. And of just people getting to hang out with each other, friends. And so the first thing I think, before you do anything, and yes, exactly. You go out for that Valentine's just for that one day. That's how you end up going to dinner with Jeffrey Dahmer. That is true. Very, very, very true. So I think the first thing before we get into anything here that you really need to remember as we're leading up to Valentine's Day, there's one person and one person only you need to worry about for that day. The same person you deal with every other day of the year. It's the only person that you truly know how feels in life. Celebrate that relationship. Okay? So whether you're married, whether you're single, whether you're dating, whether whatever in the world you are, don't forget that number one relationship in your life, and that's your relationship with yourself. Because you know what that person needs at that moment. More than anyone else. And yes, hopefully if you are in a relationship or you have friendships or stuff like that, they're going to want to know what you want. Be open with each other about that stuff. So what I wanted to do is we're going to kind of talk about this from a couple different points of view. Okay, because we're all coming into Valentine's Day from a different point of view. We've got our couples here. Okay, we've got our single people here. Okay, so let me just drop it that way first. How many of you guys, if you are a couple, okay, meaning you're married or you're in a pretty good relationship where you would say, okay, yeah, I'm going to spend my Valentine's with this person and all that, put a 1 in chat if you are one of those people who are either married or in a relationship. I don't want to say serious because some people are in serious but don't really quite see themselves at that point either. Okay, but if you feel like you have that one person you want to spend Valentine's Day, put a 1. If, on the other hand, you are single, okay, and just not really in any real relationships or anything like that, put a 2 in chat. Just like to see exactly where the division is in chat, because I know we got a little bit of everything out there. I myself fall in the 2. I'm single. I don't have anyone right now to hang out with, unless you count the dogs. They count. They think they count. Put it that way. 1.5. There you go, Siren. Nope. There you go. And that's actually a fair point. There are some people who kind of fall in this middle zone where they might have something. Okay. So we're getting a half-C type thing going on here. So we're going to cover on all levels of that. Sorry, pups are, hey, come here. Okay. So I'm going to kind of break it down into different areas. So, and some of you guys are going to find out, okay, yeah, I may be talking about singles, and some of you guys who are married might get something out of what I'm talking about. Because I'll be honest, some of the people I hang out with on Valentine's Day are actually married. But what we've done is we've decided to hang out as friends. And so we'll kind of get into that. It sounds crazy, but we'll get into that as we get through it, and I can explain it. So first, let's start off for all of y'all singles out there, all you guys out there who are waking up in the morning and don't have someone in the bedroom with you. Okay, What can you do? So number one, treat all of us, we already know. You're going to treat yourself good. Whether you're married, single, whatever. Your focus, number one, is yourself. Celebrate your most important relationship. Next, though, wake up late on time. Okay, I realize some of you guys can't do all this stuff, but if possible, sleep in a little bit that day. I don't know about you, but when I've gotten good rest, I have an easier time dealing with the emotions that I'm dealing with. Okay. So I realize, okay, some have to wake up at a certain time to get to work by a certain time. And that time they got to wake up is before the sun comes up. And I understand that. So I understand if you can't do these things, but if you have the capability of doing it, get yourself a good night of sleep beforehand. That way you're not going into the day already feeling drained, because you're going to feel drained, quite honestly, during the day anyhow. So do that. Next, treat yourself to a massage. Okay. Now, this could be on your own. And couples, this is another way you guys can play it. But as a single, you can do massages on your own. There are massage, okay, the things you can get for your neck. You can do, okay, we all know Robbie loves to lay on his and break them. The other day, and Amber got one for her birthday. They're great things that you can buy and just relax. Treat yourself. If you can go, and if you're single and can't do this, or even married and can't do these things because of work, hey, what's wrong with rescheduling Valentine's Day? Because then you know you're going to have a day that's going to be just as good. Your next day that you got off, schedule yourself stuff, and you're like, hey, this is my Valentine's Day for myself, and I'm going to enjoy it. And you know what? I may have to watch everyone else doing everything on Monday, but I know come Saturday when I'm off, it's going to more than make up for it. So go ahead, give yourself a massage or get it. Go to Groupon. I don't know if any of you guys have ever used Groupon, but every time I go to Vegas with my friend, we go on to Groupon and we look for massages, and you can get 2-for-1 deals. You can get, okay, half off deals. You could get some amazing deals through Groupon for massages. So or a facial, pedicure, manicure, anything to treat yourself special. Okay. Yeah, Susan, that's it. Just celebrate like you're a couple, even though you're single. Because again, you're celebrating your own most important relationship. There's nothing wrong with doing that. So the next thing, and this will help with a lot of the stuff, because a lot of my emotions that I used to get on Valentine's Day that would screw up my day royally came because I went to work. Okay. Now I know bosses aren't all going to give everyone off the holiday just because you're single or something like that. But you know what? If you have the ability, okay, thinking in the future, take that day off. Because every single time I'd have to share an office. When I lived on Kauai, I had to share an office with, okay, one other person, and then right outside the door was someone else. And everyone would be getting flowers or balloons or chocolate or whatever, and I'd be sitting there. And it was rough. I would get upset at times. It didn't help that I lived on another island. I had just moved away from home for the first time. That made it 10 times worse. Okay, like I said, it was great the year my dad bought me the flowers and all, because at least I felt like I'm close to them and all. But take that time off. If you can, take the day off. And perhaps plan a dinner for yourself. Okay, now, when I say plan a perfect dinner, enjoy the dinner. Okay? Hell, these people who are going out to restaurants and shit like that, do you think they're worried about their calories that night? No. They're not worried if they're eating 40 grams of fat or anything like that one night. They're enjoying that night. They're eating what they want to eat that night. Enjoy. Eat your favorite foods. whether it's making them and enjoying making them or buying them, going out with Bite Squad or something like that. Okay, make it special with yourself. Okay, some of you aren't going to be able to connect with friends because that's going to be one of the things I'm going to talk about is that. But I know, like me, when I lived on Kauai, I did not have a lot of friends I could connect with. They were all married. Okay, I'm sorry, they didn't want to take me out with them on their Valentines Day. I don't know why, but yeah. And also, I had to find ways to do it on my own. So plan something that's special for yourself. Okay, and honor your feelings. I think a lot of times on holidays in general, and I'm talking this is all holidays. Like I said, Mother's Day is the hardest holiday for me. Honor those feelings. Okay, we talk about when you're dealing with issues that you're not too sure about and all journaling and stuff like that. Journal, vlog. Those of you who've always wondered about vlogging, that might be a great day for you to just, you don't have to show it to everyone in the world, but you could start a video diary of yourself. Okay, to be honest, I was never a handwritten type. I never did journals that way. But if I could have pulled out my camera and done a journal that way, that would have been amazing. And Darren, when it bothered me, I made it funny. Any song I heard, I switched the word love with drug. Oh my God, I love that. I love that. I love it. And that's what it was. Okay, Darren took an idea, loves music and stuff like that. So bingo, next thing on my list here, focus on a hobby. So you take a hobby of yours and you focus it because hobbies make you happy. Focus your time on that hobby. Try to find ways, okay, like there, changing lyrics. That's classic. I love it. And also find a hobby that you can focus. Me, I'd be sitting here working on a diamond painting that I'm almost done with. Okay, things that can keep you focused and your mind away from all of the negative things that you think you're going to have to deal with. And maybe watch a movie marathon. Now, I'm going to go through a couple don't do's, and one of those has to do with movies. But just do a movie marathon of some of your favorite movies and stuff like that. Now, like I said, I was going to focus on some of the do not do, just say no. And hello, Living Like Phoenix. How you doing, my dear? And so just say no. So these are some of the things that sometimes you can deal with, sometimes you never want to deal with. But on Valentine's Day, you may want to look at. Okay. Number one, like any other day of the year, be careful of self-medicating. It's very, very easy you're at home doing your movie marathon or whatever, especially if you're alone, and you think, oh, I'm just going to have a drink, and then you have 2, then you have 3, then you have 4, and you know what? There's no problem. Once in a while, we all get drunk. Oh, frick. I've gotten drunk more times than I care to share. And but at a time, sometimes when we start using something like that as a way of self-medicating and it works, we find ourselves repeating that behavior over and over. So the best thing to do is, how can you keep yourself happy? How can you work within your emotions without going to that step? So some of that is in doing things that make you happy. And some of that, like we just talked about, some of that is recognizing things that could trigger you and staying away from those. And that goes into the next section, which is social media. This is one of the few days in the year that I definitely would suggest to many people, especially if it really upsets you to see other people. Because remember, people don't post. Well, not always, but the majority of the time, people do not post all the amazing, the horrible stuff in their life. They focus on amazing. Okay, how many of your friends' Facebook pages do you know of that are nothing but how wonderful their life is? And you know damn well they've got bad days in their life, but they never post about those. They just post about all the good. So you know already, hey, Kimmykins, you know already they're going to be posting pictures of all their flowers and all their chocolates and all their this and all their that. They're going to talk about how awesome dinner was and how much, oh gosh, my husband or my wife was the sweetest thing ever today. You know they're going to do all that stuff. Okay, and that's great for them. No one's upset that they're having an amazing time. But you have the right to take a social media day off that day. So you're not having to see that type of thing going on if it's something that's going to just upset you and make you feel worse. So do that. Take that time off. Okay? A couple days later, come back. Okay, and we all know the social medias that we're talking about. Some are going to be more than, for example, Facebook's probably going to be much worse than, say, YouTube. Okay, YouTube's probably going to have its fair share of stuff too, but you don't have quite, YouTube isn't as much used with the pictures of the flower and the picture of this and the picture of that. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, those things just, you know where, and you also know the people that you hang out with. If you're subscribed to people that you know are going to do that, then you know what? Yeah. Again, we're always taking everything back to who is the most important person in your life. That's you. And also you want to do what is going to help you get through the day in the best way possible. Now, earlier I said have a movie marathon. Now, if you're at home alone, there's one movie I would suggest you stay away from, and that's romance movies. Everyone loves a rom-com. I love my rom-coms, and maybe you're okay watching a rom-com. Maybe any romance you'd be fine with that day. But I also know when I see a romance movie, I start wondering, why the hell can my life not be like those people's? Why can't I live the Sleepless in Seattle story? Why is it that the people that I always wished would love me never quite turn around and recognize I'm there? Okay, so on a day that your emotions may already be up higher, if you're watching something like that, it could very well just add to that negative feeling that's going on for you. So it's something you might want to take a look at. And in the same things, love songs. Now, I love the way mentioned earlier, okay, change the word love to something else, drug, whatever. I love that way of pulling that off. Okay, oh my gosh. Another benefit of being single on February 14th, you can eat baked beans for lunch, strokes, garlic, spaghetti sauce for supper, and enjoy the evening entertainment. I love it. And, but yeah, on the same thing, again, it's like anything in life, boundaries. We talk about boundaries here, yeah? You're looking at what are your boundaries that day? What are the things that could potentially cross that boundary for yourself? And okay, a boundary doesn't always have to be permanent. See, that's the thing. A lot of times people think, oh, boundaries permanent. No, boundaries are used at times in your life that you need them. Some of them are long-term. Some of them, like these types of boundaries, are a 24-hour or 48-hour boundary. For this one day, I'm not going to be on Facebook because I can't be around all this and not be able to know I can't partake in it. The next thing is, I used to know friends who would do this. They'd go out to dinner on their own on Valentine's Day. They're like, well, you know what? I'm going to do exactly what we've been talking about. I'm going to treat the most important person in my life to a great day. Okay, some people may be able to do that, but consider it this way. Say you're going to a restaurant. And you're there, you think everything's fine, but you're surrounded by couples. Okay, not only that, you may be surrounded by a couple who ends up getting engaged in the middle of dinner. So is that going to be the best situation? That's why sometimes I think as single people, go on if you're going to go on your own and do that type of idea, another day might be a better day for it. Now, again, you're going to look at yourself individually. Okay, and last but not least of the no's, and hopefully I don't have to say this, okay, because you guys are already thinking it. Please, 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 please don't pull out all the photos and videos of your ex. Okay, you know what? That ex does not deserve rental space in your head on Valentine's Day. Should have been, could have been, would have beens. They're gone. They're gone. Now, I'm not saying that there might not be those occasions where things do change, but Valentine's Day, again, if you're pulling up all these videos and the pictures and stuff of your ex on that day to remember past Valentine's days, you're forgetting who matters the most, you. Because now that person is the focus of your whole evening, not you. And it just builds up. Now, we've kind of gone through this and there are things to say no to. Now, for singles, I did want to say what I found the greatest thing in the world to do on Valentine's Day is, yes, spend it. Okay. I never did that. It was probably close to the year 2000 before I finally realized, hey, you can spend time with your friends on this day. Of course, like I said, I lived on an island, very, very tiny island, and most of my friends were married at the time, so I couldn't do it. But as I've gotten older and all that, I'm realizing I've got this extended family, extended friends of mine, and we get together. If we're going to have an issue or something, if something's going on that night, we get to, hey, missing in life, how you doing, my dear? So get together with your friends. Plan a Valentine's Day party. Okay, I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of the movie that came up with the idea of Valentine's Day. And yes, it was made up about gals, but guys starts with G too in my eyes. So guys can do this just as well as us girls. Pull something together where you can just hang out with it. Because you know what? Like I said, my friends are my family. Just as much as my husband would be or something like that. Do I have a husband? No, I can't really honestly compare the two. But in my mind, in my head, my relationship with my very, very close friends is that close of a friendship. Okay, if I got married, I'd probably see it's totally different. But you know what? This is who my family is. I'm going to spend my whole life going to movies with them, playing game nights, going and hanging out with them and stuff like that. So get together with those people. Celebrate your love for them because you know what? Your love for them is just as important as the love, okay, a married couple has for each other. Or two people dating or something like that. You share everything about your life with these people. Okay, they are an important part of who you are. Celebrate that. Okay, Kimmy, just let me see if I can pull this. Sorry, I'm going back and forth between Kim, but I like that. Yeah. Yes, I spent it with my best friend after an evening with my boy. I love that, Kimmy. I made her dinner and got her chocolate and champagne, and we played board games and I watched movies together. I miss her. See, gang, that's what it's about. Hey, Dragon, how you doing? How you doing? And also celebrate those relationships. Have fun. And that goes right in exactly, Kimmy Kens, play games. I'm a board game girl. You guys know that. Okay, set up game day with them. Okay, whether it be board games or coming up with things like we had Amber's birthday the other day and we were playing here because you know what? I'm going to say this right now. My friendships here on YouTube are just as strong as many of my 3D relationships. And you know what? I'd want to celebrate my Valentine's Day just as much with this group. Because truly, I mean, I talk more with many of you guys than I do many of my friends that I hang out with regularly here. You guys are just as much. It's just a different type of setup because one you can see and touch and feel, and the other one you feel here because you can't tactily touch them and give them a hug. So play games with them, spend time with them. Things you can do, and I'm going to go through this list real quickly, but I wanted to give people ideas because we still have time to plan these things. All of you have time to connect up with your friends and plan something like this. Okay, oh yeah, Think Dragon. And have a painting party. Okay, many of you guys know that girl actually does painting group things where we learn how to paint stuff. Never been able to do one because my freaking schedule. And but that's a great way for people to come together, okay, and go out and do one of those painting things. There's so much fun to do that. Have a slumber party. When was the last time you had a slumber party with your friends? Hey, buds, how you doing, my dear? And have that slumber party, or you know what? Yes, what can I say? Everyone knows I love my animals. Have a pet party, pet play date. Pull your friends, because one thing I've noticed about people, especially when we're single, is we love our animals. Our animals almost become children to us. They become our family members that we live with. So you know what? Have a pet play date. Have your friends do that. Have a pity party. No pity parties allowed. No pity parties allowed. And I've had enough of those in my life. And also, okay, now you can't have a pity party, okay? Just come over, we'll do karaoke. We'll have a karaoke party, and that definitely, you'd pity me very badly if you heard me say, yeah, that works. And also, but yeah, that's a karaoke party. Okay, Secret Cupid. This one was an idea that I saw real quickly. Okay, on Christmas, we have what? Secret Santas. Now, a lot of times, one of the things that happens on Valentine's Day, like I said, I go to work and I see all these people with flowers and chocolate. And, oh my gosh, my husband bought me this new necklace or whatever and all that. And I'm just like, no one loves me. No one cares about me. I do. Yes, I do exactly what Think Dragon just said. I start having this little pity party in my own head. Okay, so you can have a piddle party with your dogs for sure. And also, but Secret Cupid can actually work its way around that. Okay, if you're having a party or something like that, thanks, kittykins. If you're having a party like that, by doing Secret Cupids, you can get around that because people are coming up and celebrating each other by giving them something that makes them feel a little more special. So that kind of gives you guys, we've been talking mostly about singles. And like I said earlier, at least half of you guys here are married here. And yes, those of you who are married are dealing with a lot of issues also on Valentine's Day. I think as single people, we don't see that as much. And, but you know, when I start talking to people, you know what? Have you ever noticed how it's always, the grass is greener in someone else's yard all the time? It never fails. No matter what I do, it always looks better. Hello, Karen. How you doing, my dear? And so what about our couples here? Okay, couples. And actually, I could see, I was talking earlier with Arctic. Okay, where all of a sudden you get this feeling like, okay, yeah, you're married. So all that matters in life is you're there to take care of the kids, be the taxi driver, do this, do that, do this, do that. So in a way, Valentine's Day is such an awesome time for couples to be able to get together and say, hey, gang, you know what? We've had all these kids all these years, and now all of a sudden all we see each other as is the parent, and we've forgotten about what really got us together to begin with. And also, it is an important day. Okay, as much as, okay, so many of us that are single will sit here and badmouth it and stuff like that. It is an important day because it allows people to come back and remember just who they fell in love with and why they fell in love with each other. And so you would think it'd be perfect, yeah? We thought, oh, Valentine's Day. Okay, I'll be honest. I did my thumbnail initially because I'm a single woman who, in my eyes, Valentine's Day as a couple must be amazing. It's got to be bad. You never have a problem if you're married on Valentine's Day, right? What the hell was I thinking? I sat down and I started putting together all my little banners and all that. And I got about halfway through. I got to this point, and all of a sudden I'm like, okay, what are you doing, girl? You are making this out to be that they have perfect. No, they don't. You've got two different people who are having to read each other. Okay, you're hoping both sides remember what's going on. Okay, how many times do we hear about, okay, people forgetting this or not doing that or whatever? And so you run into all sorts of things. So what can you do as a on Valentine's Day, if you are a couple, recognizing that? Well, first of all, we're going to go back to what we talked at the beginning. Forget society pressures. Forget society telling you what you should feel, how you should celebrate, how you should not celebrate. Again, the two of you are individuals. You are not this big group of people that all these cards are being written for. Okay, everyone has something that makes them feel special on their own. Okay, you know what? There may be a couple out there who their most favorite way in the world to celebrate Valentine's Day would be to just have a nice evening with the family, where they're watching a movie and they get to sit side by side in the couch with their loved one and just enjoy it with kids behaving. It's possible. Many people actually, the idea of being able to spend it with their whole family, is 90% of it is just being with their family. My mom and dad used to give my brother and I Valentine's Day gifts every single year. And all because that was their way of saying, hey, we love you guys as much as we love each other. I'm sure they loved each other just as much. And but it did mean something to us. So forget what society tells you it should be. Forget about society telling you that you have to buy 2 dozen red roses. Okay? You don't have to do anything. You do what your significant other would like. You do what your heart is leading you to do. Now, how do you do that, though? Unless you talk to them. So 90% of the arguments that I have heard from my friends about Valentine's Day between them and their significant other can come down to one thing and one thing only, and that is communication. They get in their head as to what they should be doing, and they forget to ask. They forget to communicate. Maybe the other person doesn't want to go out to dinner. Maybe they would rather just hang around at home. They don't have kids and they'd be just as happy hanging around at home. Maybe they would rather not celebrate, be forced to celebrate on a weeknight and wait till a weekend. So what happens is everyone feels like they have to do it that night, yet they never really get to do what the other person really wanted to do. So they end up in this huge fight by the end of the night. Yeah. And also having that ability to just talk makes a big difference. Sorry, my mom just got on the phone. And so hopefully you won't hear her. And the other thing going in with that is plan ahead of time. Okay, because think about it. The most amount of anxiety and stuff that you can deal with is when you're racing and trying to get stuff done. Okay, you got to get that reservation. Oh my gosh, has anyone ever tried to get a reservation on Valentine's Day if you wait till the last minute or something like that? And I would tell her to be quiet, but she is hard of hearing and cannot hear me. Well, actually, one second. Let me see real quickly if I can. So she's the fun of having someone in the house who's hard of hearing. They can't hear anything unless you yell. So you get to see me yell. You didn't hear, but you get to see. So, but yeah, so take the time, make your reservations. Okay, buy your gifts ahead of time so you're not last minute running around like crazy, getting all stressed out, because I don't know about you. When I get stressed out, I can't just forget it like that. So, okay, and I've done that before where I'm going to a friend's birthday party and last minute I'm like, I got to buy this and I got to buy that and all that. And I'm starting to get really freaking stressed out. And then I find out I cannot calm myself down in time for the party. So I'm in a bitchy mood the whole party because of what I did earlier. So take that time to really do, think Dragon. This is one thing I actually kind of mentioned. I've never been on a Valentine's date. No, never have. I was mentioning at the beginning, I actually spent much of my younger years focused on my career. And I just really, I would spend the whole time on my own. You know what I found out now, though? I spend my Valentines with the people I'm closest with, my friends. And to me, that's just as important as anything else because those friends are my family. And I love it. I love hanging out with them now. This year, I'll be at rehearsal. So, yeah, a little different. But, yeah, I got no choice there. So, next thing, and this is everyone, but I think especially for those of you who are married, avoid comparisons. Okay. And this goes in with avoiding social media and everything else in the world. Okay. Because if you're sitting there and comparing, that's a new word, comparing your bouquet of flowers to your next door neighbor who got one 3 times bigger. Okay. Since when is love measured by the size of the bouquet? Or how much chocolate is in the chocolate box? But how many times do people start making decisions and comparing and deciding how they feel based off of that? I'm going to say it, envy. It's what I was doing those years back when I was working and everyone would be getting chocolate and candy and all that. I was deciding my self-worth based off of envy. Really doesn't make sense. After all, they bought something for you. They cared about you enough to do that. So just always remember to go back to that. I got a totally new word with comparison. And that does tie into just remember what the meaning of the holiday is supposed to be. We say this with Christmas also. It's not about Santa and gifts and shit like that. Okay, it's the same thing here. Remember what this holiday is supposed to be about. It's not about getting your candy. It's not about getting that gorgeous diamond bracelet or something like that. It's about spending time with that significant other that you never get to spend time with because both of you are too busy with kids, work, all these other things in your life. It's about having that time there. If you are single, it's about having that time to focus on yourself, the person that matters the most, and your friendships. And I am going to throw that here because hopefully every one of us have a friend. If not, I can tell you, you have the ability to have a friend. I didn't think so at one time in my life, but you do. It's just looking for it, trying to figure it out. You've got tons of people within these communities willing to hang out and talk story and all that. So remember that. Remember that's what it's about, is being able to thank the people that you're close to, thank the people that you've been with, and just share who you are with them for that one night without all the rush. So, and last, I just wanted to focus real quickly on what better way. Okay, we already know a lot of people have a hard time with this holiday. A lot of people have a hard time because they don't feel loved. Okay, there's a lot of people, honestly, they may not have a friend. Okay, I had that when I lived on another island and all my friends were married and shit like that. I truly felt like I did not have a friend. There was a time in my life I worried that when my mom and dad passed away, I'd be alone. I'm not that way now, but it was real back then. So I sit here and I look at what is the best way for someone to bring happiness and that's to be there for other people. Okay, I'm not talking about codependent happiness. I'm talking the happiness that you get when you share of yourself with someone else. And that someone else is needing someone to recognize them. So how about, there you go, Siren, no living on Koholave. No, not at all. At Kauai was enough. And, so make someone else's day a little better. I bet you every one of us knows someone out there who doesn't have someone in their life. Maybe they just lost a husband or wife. Maybe they are shut-in. There are so many shut-ins out there. What can you do for those people? Okay, guys, this is where I'm saying let's stop making Valentine's Day about ourselves and share love to others. Think about those people. Let them know you care about them. Maybe become that friendship that they need. Okay, send them a goodie basket, bake cookies, fruit kebabs, spa day, okay, whatever it is. Try to give back to them. Write someone a note. I had the greatest thing today. One of you guys in chat today, I woke up this morning and in my DMs on Discord, I had the sweetest little message just saying, hey, been thinking about you. Hope you're doing fine. You know how awesome that made me feel this morning? I don't know if that person's still in chat or not, but it really honestly did. Those are the little things that we can do to make other people feel better. And it's a great day. Valentine's Day is a wonderful day to be able to do that. So take that opportunity to actually try something like that. People that you know, we all know people here on YouTube who are in that category that they need someone because they're alone. Be that someone for that day. So closing up, just number one, I am going to say it's okay to hate Valentine's Day. It's okay if you're a bah humbug person for that day. Okay. It's okay to miss things in our life. Sometimes we feel like we have to be happy. We have to be okay with everything going on. And it's okay to mourn something that you may not have. Okay, whether that is you're mourning not having a relationship or you're mourning having a relationship, but it not being the relationship you kind of dreamt of your whole life. It's okay. Okay, it's okay to feel that way. It's okay to wish things had been different, but that doesn't mean we get stuck in the past. And that's what's important for us always to remember. Honor those feelings. Do. Honor those feelings, but also come back to that feeling and say, you know what? Yeah, it didn't turn out the way that I wanted. Maybe I didn't quite get married. Maybe I didn't quite have the kids, but you know what? Look what I have here. Find those ways to turn everything around. If you are finding yourself circling round and round and round on that day, there is nothing ever wrong with asking for help. I'm going to say that because I've seen too many people in my life who are like, I can't talk to a therapist about Valentine's Day because they'll laugh at me. I should be able to handle this. Come on, it's just one day a year. Why should I be? No, you know what? It's your emotions and your emotions are real. And if you're having a rough day on that day, you know what? If you can't work through it with grounding techniques or you can't work through it by trying to find other people you can spend time with or things like that, there's nothing wrong with going to a therapist or calling up a hotline or something and saying, you know what, I'm having a freaking rough time tonight. I need to talk to someone tonight. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay? Because again, you are taking care of the most important person in your life by doing that. You're taking care of yourself. No one's ever going to have a problem with that. And remember, not everyone else is having a perfect holiday either. You're going to sit there, and if you do go on Facebook. You're going to see all these wonderful things, okay? You're going to hear all these stories about how awesome everyone's holiday is and all that. But guess what? There are other people who did not have a great holiday. There are people that even though they're going to hang out with their friends, they're going to still wish, oh, wouldn't it have been wonderful if I could have had this happen? Or what if this and what? Those things are going to happen, and it's fine. Okay, it's just too many times we get to thinking we are the only ones having to deal with this. You're not. You're not. Okay, most likely every one of us is going to have at least one thing happen on Valentine's Day that is going to make it not quite the day we wanted it to be. And also, oh my God, Arctic, I love my ex enough to set him free out the second story window. There you go. And also, so guys, yeah, it's really, Valentine's Day does not have to be the negative day we want it to be. We choose what we're going to take it for. You can do just exactly what Darren just said. Just interchange the words love and drug in each song, poem, or even news article. Okay, seriously, try that. Try that. I'm going to be trying that. Okay, take that day and just have fun with the day. Okay, come here on YouTube, okay? I think there's a couple different things going on that day where people are playing games, okay, or having special events on their channel or things like that. You can be with other people that day and you will laugh. You will have fun. You will, okay, just, oh my God, what am I? Sometimes you just have to fart like a moose when you're at the buffet restaurant. Oh my God, I love you guys. So yeah, so gang, okay, Valentine's Day is coming up. We're gonna have fun with it. Okay, do what you can. Change the words in a song or your news story or whatever it is. I want to hear next week what people have to come up with out of there. There's going to be some, actually, no, what I want to do is this. I have started a Facebook group. After talking to a number of you guys, people have been asking for it. So we have a Facebook group. I will be sharing this link out. Please go on there and join us in the group because on Monday, I want to see what people come up with changing the word. And to me, that's going to be the best thing in the world. So please go check out, okay, the Local My Life on Facebook. And we can have fun with that. Okay, that whole day, anyone who wants to do whatever they can do whatever they can. Okay, also, time to replay. Nobody at the... was that you, Arctic? Okay, you know why I haven't accepted anyone? I hadn't announced it yet. 2 people actually discovered me on Facebook. Okay, and, the group. Okay, Sleuth Mom, and it was Art. I noticed someone was on it. I was like, as soon as I announce everything today, I'll accept people in. So we will be accepting you in Arctic right away. So please go check that out, and I will bring all you guys into it. Drug me. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So please take a look at that. I will post that into my community page for those of you. I know it's many numbers, and I really, oh my God, there's a 666 in there. Oh boy, what's that telling you about this group? Also, just wanted to remind everyone, please, if you have ideas of subjects you'd like to talk about, if you know of any missing people that need to have their stories told, please email me at thelocalmylife@gmail.com. I also have set up all the socials from Instagram, all that at The Local My Life. So please contact me about all that. As of right now, I don't know. Yeah. For those of you who are wondering, we may not be doing Cantina tonight. If something changes, I'll let you know. If someone does decide to go live, I'll let people know. However, a lot of people are really busy tonight with the holiday. I think with Valentine's Day coming up on Monday, some people are doing stuff today. So just wanted to let you guys know that. And as we finish up, I did just want to bring up Miss Angel again. Let me take out my email because that's not the important thing here right now. Today is Angel's birthday. She is 1 year old today. She went missing at 3 months of age. We have not seen her since. So please help share this. This is an age progression because the government does not do age progressions unless someone's been missing 2 years. But a 3-month-old baby does not look the same as a 1-year-old baby. So we're sharing all that out. Arctic, you just dropped Monkey. I love Monkey. Michael Vaughn, whose nickname is Monkey, there's some people who worm their way into your heart, some of these kids, and Monkey is probably one. Yes, I will. Arctic Fox, I will definitely go pull that up and share that out on my community tab. So gang, please take a look at Angel. If you can help us share this out with people. People came together for a vigil to celebrate her birthday, and we're not going to forget about her, and we're going to keep her in the public eye until we can bring her home. And so I am going to be singing songs. I'm on my way to rehearsal right now, and I am so going to be changing the word love to drug in everything while I'm singing. This could be fun. So yeah, get over to the Facebook group. I'm going to start accepting people in now, and we will go into all sorts of lyrics with that one change, because we all know how much we love doing that. So anyhow, you guys have a great day. Robbie, you're right. Robbie is going live today, but not till 1:30. At 8:30 my time, I'll actually be almost done with rehearsal at that point. I end at 9 o'clock. So I'll probably be peeking in chat. So you know how I do that. Love you guys. I will talk to you guys Monday. My house guest is gone, so hopefully life is going to get back to normal now, so I can do some stuff on missing children, start helping get some more word out on people there. Love you guys tons. I will see you around. Stay warm for those of you on the mainland. Stay cool for those of us out in Hawaii. We're always cool. What can I say? So love you guys. And the dog is trying to talk with me, so love you guys. Yes, I know. Sorry, someone's going to throw a temper tantrum. Okay, you want to say goodbye? Say bye. Bye-bye. Okay, love you guys and goodbye.